Yes. Meron pang iba kaya lang di sila magsasalita eh.
Takot.
Takot eh, kasi kasama rin sila dun, di ba? Eh si Saldico, na-corner na siya, kailangan niya na magsalita. Yung ibang may alam, hindi pa sila nakakasuhan eh. So paano sila magsasalita? Hindi katulad ni Saldico. Tsaka si Saldico, mas madali kasi inamin na niya na natanggap niya yung pera. So wala na siyang denial doon, di ba? Ang gusto na lang niyang palabasin, walang naiwan sa kanya at pinasa niya kay former Speaker Martin Romualdez. So talaga
Right now, he's not in the Philippines. We are looking for him. Hopefully, we'll find him sooner rather than later. Pero yung mga napangalanan niya, what about the former House Speaker, Martin Romualdez?
Yun na nga eh. He is the direct link. Siya ang nagsasabi na yung pera binigay niya kay Martin Romualdez. Di ba?
So is he the only witness that can implicate the former House Speaker? Is there anyone else in the Philippines that could implicate the former House Speaker? Because when you talk to the people, they say, it's not enough that we have former Congressman Zaldico. It has to go all the way to the top.
Yes. Meron pang iba kaya lang di sila magsasalita eh.
Takot.
Takot eh, kasi kasama rin sila dun, di ba? Eh si Saldico, na-corner na siya, kailangan niya na magsalita. Yung ibang may alam, hindi pa sila nakakasuhan eh. So paano sila magsasalita? Hindi katulad ni Saldico. Tsaka si Saldico, mas madali kasi inamin na niya na natanggap niya yung pera. So wala na siyang denial doon, di ba? Ang gusto na lang niyang palabasin, walang naiwan sa kanya at pinasa niya kay former Speaker Martin Romualdez. So talagang ang kailangan, lakasan yung effort natin na hanapin si Saldico.
Okay. Alright. Nung Disyembre, Kong Toby, you threatened to break up politically with President Marcos if there was any effort to protect Martin Romualdez. What is your stand now? I mean, we're now in January. Tapos ng December. Tapos ng holidays. This is now a reality check. The people are waiting.
Tingnan natin. Umaasa ako na si Ombudsman Boying Remulla ay talagang seryoso, no? I've known him for so long and sa tingin ko gagawin niya yung dapat gawin at wala siyang pro-protectional.
How can you say he's really serious when he promised that before Christmas we would have people behind bars? Can we still also trust the word of the Ombudsman?
Yes, I believe so.
What makes you believe that we can trust him?
Because I've known him for quite some time. And ano yun eh, seryoso yun eh. Walang BS yung tao na yun eh. Di ba? So, ako'y umaasa pa.
If walang mangyayari at the end of January, what will be your next move?
Ayun, I think I will have to make that painful decision. No? Because, siyempre, ano yun, siya ay kamag-anak ng aking misis and he's been very good to us. Wala kaming pinagka-diferensyahan personally eh. Di ba? So, yun. I will have to
weigh
paalam.
your options and leave, ha?
Yes.
Talagang end of January, ha? And let's say mag-extend yan ng February, you will not change your mind.
No, tingnan natin. Tingnan natin muna kung sino ba talaga yung mga nakakasuhan, di ba? At tingnan natin yung mga circumstansya.
Pero, sometimes, Kong Toby, a lot of politicians play with the emotions of Filipinos. You make promises, and then Filipinos easily forgive and forget, and then a new issue will come out.
No, but based on look at my track record, I've never taken the popular side. I've always stuck to my principles. Kaya nga tingnan mo, sa tagal-tagal ko dito sa politika, isipin mo, karamihan ng politiko, ito, maging makatotohanan tayo, karamihan ng politiko, lagi nilang kakampi yung administrasyon. Di ba? Kaya tingnan mo sa Congress.
Well, you were the campaign manager.
No, but
of the senatorial team. That ran,
ang ibig ko sabihin, pag nagpapalit yung presidente, palit din sila ng partido, di ba? For example, imagine, nung panahon ni GMA, ang majority sa Congress yung mga kakampi ni GMA. And then sila rin ang naging kakampi ni Pinoy, sila rin ang naging kakampi ni Duterte, sila rin ang kakampi ni BBM. So papalit-palit sila. Ako, I've entered politics in 98. Isipin mo, 2022 ko pa naging kakampi yung presidente dahil siya ay unang presidente na sinuportahan ko. Di ba? So, hindi lang yon. Hindi ko kakampi yung mga presidente at hindi ako napipilitan lumipat ng partido. I've never changed political parties since 2020. So, naging presidente si Pinoy, hindi ako sumama sa partido niya. Naging presidente si Duterte, hindi ako sumama sa partido niya. And even naging presidente si BBM, hindi pa rin ako sumama sa partido niya. I just support him, no? So, hindi ako magpapalit. I will always do what is right. And when it was unpopular to stand as a witness for CJ Corona, I was the lone witness of CJ Corona at the height of the popularity of President Pinoy and at the lowest popularity of GMA. So I will not take the easy
You will
route.
take the high road.
Yes.
So, Kong Toby, what do you think of the leadership of House Speaker Boji D?
Okay naman, no? But again,
Sinasabi nila masyado siyang tahimik. Hindi siya nagpapa-interview sa media.
hindi lang siya flamboyant eh. I mean, napaka-simpleng tao kasi noon eh. Napaka-low profile, no?
Oh.
So, hindi naman dapat siguro maging masama yung low profile, di ba? Yung mapagkumbaba na type of leadership. Hindi naman masama yun.
So
Mas
is
maganda
his leadership as House Speaker better than the former House Speaker Martin Romualdez?
Yes, alam mo si Speaker Boji, pumupunta siya sa session. Instead na siyang puntahan mo sa opisina, pinupuntahan niya kami sa session, uupo kasama ng congressman, pumupunta sa lounge ng mga congressmen, instead na ikaw ang pupunta doon. But again, ito sinasabi ko, we must give him more powers. Kasi tingnan mo, ang tagal na niyang speaker, ilang buwan? October, November, December, so 3 buwan na siya dyan. Hanggang ngayon, isa pa lang ang nalalagay niyang congressman na ilagay niya sa critical na position, yung senior deputy speaker na si Ferdinand Hernandez, no? Ay lahat yun tao pa ng dating
So
speaker.
are you saying then that the former House Speaker is still running the show?
No, he still has some influence at kahit papano, those who received their positions when he was speaker will naturally be grateful to him, di ba?
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying, dapat magkaroon ng revamp. Ang hirap naman, gusto natin yung maging speaker si Boji, ang binigay lang natin sa kanyang posisyon, isa lang, paano naman yun, di ba?
So he should have the political will and the power to be able to make changes in the House leadership.
Yes,
So the influence of the former House Speaker will not continue to reign.
Yes. That's what one of the things I would suggest to him, that I think we have to be more firm, di ba? Kasi naintindihan ko naman.
So are you saying then that we need a firmer House Speaker
Hindi.
like Congressman Toby Chanco?
No. I will not accept it and I don't want. Okay. Naintindihan ko si Speaker Boji.
Kasi we need character, we need personality. We need a strong House Speaker to be able to implement, new bills. Like, for example, the anti-political dynasty law.
Pero at the right time. Kasi, di ba, inaprubahan namin yung budget noong December 29. Talagang you cannot rock the boat at that time eh.
Okay.
Di ba? So, kailangan matapos yung budget. So, pagkatapos nito, tapos na yung General Appropriations Act, now he can play hardball. Now he can play hardball.
Pero itong budget nga, nasa korte ngayon. That some of them are unconstitutional.
Hindi, yung UA?
Yes.
Hindi, yung UA wala tayong choice doon. Tignan mo, yung natirang UA Kala ko nga noon, Rico, 4 ang matitirang UA.
Oo.
Ang nagulat ako na mas konti kaysa doon sa inaasahan ko. Kasi yung AFP modernization, wala tayong choice dyan. Yung counterpart funds for the foreign assisted, commitment natin yan. Yung sa disaster resilience, kailangan talaga natin yan. Kasi hindi natin masasabi kung anong disaster darating eh. So, yung tinirang 3 UA na yon, sa tingin ko kailangan.
So are you
yun.
saying then that this 2026 national budget is the cleanest budget that has been ever made?
No, it's not. I cannot say it's the cleanest.
Because sinabi ni Presidente,
I just said,
one of the cleanest, but it's one of the cleanest budgets.
Naku, sinabi ba niya yun?
Oh.
Hindi na naman kami. It's just a better budget than the 2025. You know why you cannot say it's totally clean? Because kung maayos ba yung budget o hindi, ang huling part nun, Rico, is yung sistema ng paggastos, di ba? Yung sistema ng implementasyon, doon mo makikita kung maayos yung budget o hindi, di ba? Kasi tingnan natin assuming may insertion, and let's assume na walang bentahan, insertion lang, at walang ghost, at walang substandard. Hindi naman masama yung insertion, di ba? So, in the same manner, itong ginawa natin, kung tinanggal natin lahat ng mga pwedeng gawa ng kalokohan, pero may magagawa pa rin kalokohan sa ibang bagay, hindi pa rin maayos yung budget, di ba? So, nasa implementasyon yung desisyon kung maayos yung budget o hindi. And so far, naging stricto naman sila, di ba? Wala nang guarantee letters, no? Wala nang guarantee letters doon sa mga ospital. So, yun, okay sa akin yun. Kaya lang, ang request ko sa DOH, sana, ang pinakamaganda, paglabas ng tao sa government, unahin muna natin government hospital. Paglabas ng tao dun sa government hospital, wala na silang babayaran. Yun ang pinaka-okay.
But going back to the House leadership, daming mga usapan na papalitan si House Speaker D. Do you think he will be replaced, and should he be replaced by a stronger person who will impose his will to make changes within the House?
No,
and
he should not be.
change everybody, make reforms within the House leadership?
No, he should not be replaced. He should not be replaced.
You think he's the best person among the 300 members of the House of Representatives?
I voted for him for speaker, no, because nakita ko maayos si Boji, maayos. Maayos si Boji.
So now that you mentioned that the budget has been passed, ito ngayon, anti-political dynasty law. Kailan ito mangyayari? And it shouldn't be a watered-down version. It should really be imposed.
Yes, correct. I agree.
Kailan ito mangyayari?
Sabi nila, di ba, pag-resume ng Congress, tatalakayin yan, di ba? I think ang dami na nag-file pero basically, if I just looked at the matrix, yung iba, yun yung tinatawag ko na hardcore. Yung iba gusto nila one per family lang, di ba? Yung kay Congressman Eriza na version is two per family. Kaya ang tawag ko sa version niya is anti-dynasty. Kasi two lang ang pwede, hindi pwede three. So, anti-dynasty. Tapos yung kay Speaker Boji, tsaka kay Majo na lumalabas 5 yata.
So, with all of these permutations of the anti-dynasty law, when do you see it being signed by President Marcos?
Tingnan muna natin kung ano yung magiging debate doon sa
But could it be this year?
Mahirap maghula Mahirap maghula.
Kasi ang tagal-tagal na itong pinag-uusapan na Kong Toby, di ba?
Yes.
Itong anti-dynasty law. And finally, it's here. There are serious moves.
No, and the speaker said, di ba, it's one of his priority
measures.
Dalawa yung sinabi niyang priority niya, yung ICI bill, tsaka yung anti-dynasty, no?
So you have the anti-dynasty bill, you have the ICI bill. What about the impeachment of the Vice President? And the impeachment of the President? May mga usap-usapan rin yan. Will that be a priority as well?
Okay. I am totally for accountability, no? Walang question dyan, no? Pero ang dapat unang gawin dyan is pag-resume namin yung Committee on Rules, palitan yung rules of impeachment of the House of Representatives. Kasi binabasa ko ngayon yung ruling, dahil nga madami nagsasabi may magpa-file, so dapat tumugma doon sa Supreme Court ruling, assuming hindi nila baligtarin yon ng isang MR, di ba? So, ang nakita ko doon, hindi na automatic yung 1/3. Dati kasi, pag naka 1/3, automatic transmission to the Senate. Dito, kailangan padalan muna ng kopya yung akusado, dapat bigyan siya ng pagkakataon na sumagot. So, ang pagkaintindi ko doon, dadaan muna siya sa Committee on Justice. Tapos, tatalakayin doon, kahit may 1/3 na.
Tatagal na naman ito.
Hindi, kasi wala tayong magawa yan, yung Supreme Court ruling Yan, binasa ko kanina
from the evidence that you have in front of you, and what has happened over the past 3 years of this unit team, of President Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte, and this massive corruption scandal, not in the billions, not the hundreds of billions, but in the trillions, should both of them be impeached?
should both of them be impeached, no? Unahin natin, no? Unahin muna natin doon sa Vice President, no? Assuming, first of all, I'm for accountability. Liwanagin natin,
yes.
okay? Assuming, parehong-pareho yung ifa-file. Di ba? Ang hirap eh. Di ba? Ibig sabihin, hindi ba kami nag-aastang holier than thou? Hindi ba kami ipokrito na yung ayaw ng mga kasamahan kong isiwalat yung alam nila tungkol sa kay Saldico at sa former speaker. Ayaw nilang sabihin kung ano yung mga alam nila. Pero pagdating dito kay Sara Duterte, gusto nilang maging accountable. Ibig sabihin, dito hindi nila hinihinga ng accountability. It's not because naintindihan ko yung argument ng iba. It's not mutually exclusive, di ba? Pero di ba, bago mo naman tignan yung mukha ng ibang tao, manalamin ka muna.
Oo.
Di ba? Yun naman sinasabi ko. Of course, yung mga kontra dito, sinasabi pro DDS daw ako. Hindi ako pro DDS. Never ako naging kakampi. Ang akin lang, ayoko yung nagmamalinis ka, yung pinapalabas mo para pagtakpan yung kamalian mo, gusto mong palabasin, mas madumi yung ibang tao sa iyo. Ang pinagkukumpara natin dito, 150 million kumpara sa trillion. Number one yan.
Okay.
Number two, yung Vice President is not immune from suit. Kaya nga pwede sa ombudsman eh. So hindi ko naman sinasabing wag siyang panagutin eh. Sinasabi ko lang, wag tayong magmalinis at palabasin na mas masama yung iba para mapagtakpan yung kamalian na gusto nating pagtakpan.
So when
Yun
all is said and done, Kong Toby, so you see President Marcos and VP Sara still in their positions by 2028 in the next elections?
No. Isa lang ako ha. Rico.
You personally.
Hindi, isa lang ako. So ang akin, wala na ring punto na isikreto ngayon yung impeachment eh. Di ba? Dati kasi kaya sinisikreto yan, gusto nilang makagather ng 1/3, tapos tsaka nila ifa-file. So pagdating sa, that being said, ganun pa rin, basahin ko rin. Alam mo, Rico, ang unang-unang impeachment na na-experience ko is yung kay Mercedes Gutierrez. Di ba? Ombudsman ni GMA,
Yes.
in-impeach nun. Alam mo, hindi ko kakampi si GMA the whole time. So, ibig sabihin, kalaban ko rin yung ombudsman nun, di ba? Siyempre, ang gagamitin laban sa'yo is yung ombudsman. Alam mo, hindi ako naging vindictive. Ang ginawa ko nun, nag-email lang ako sa office ni Mercedes Gutierrez, hiningi ko yung mga sagot niya at pinag-aralan ko. Ganon din ang gagawin ko naman dito eh. Di ba? Sinasabi ko lang, parang ang hirap lang ng sitwasyon. Okay, pagdating naman dito kay President BBM, yun, papag-aralan rin natin kung ano yung sinasabi, yun ang pag-aaralan natin. Pero mahirap mag-speculate, di ba? Kasi mahirap magsabi based sa isang bagay na hindi pa natin alam kung ano yung nilalaman ng articles of impeachment. But I promise you, if you will ask me again pag may articles of impeachment, I will give a categorical answer.
I hear you throughout this interview. You talk about accountability and transparency. And I see you in very many media outlets talking about reform and justice.
Yes.
But many of your other fellow colleagues in Congress do not really talk about it. Do you feel like you're a lone wolf? Do you care about what other people say about you, your colleagues in the House?
No, because I'm only answerable to those people who voted for me. I'm accountable doon sa mga bumoto sa atin. Tsaka alam naman natin doon, di ba? Ang politika, di ba?
You don't care about what they say?
No. Because I'm accountable to those who voted for me.
2028 is just 2 years away. Tell our Filipino people right now what kind of president they should vote for. What kind of characteristics should they look for in the next chief executive of the Philippines?
Kung ako.
Yes.
Number one, yung talagang papanagutin lahat nung nasangkot sa corruption issue. So, number one sa akin yun. Non-negotiable sa akin yun. Non-negotiable sa akin yun.
Meron ka bang isang listahan where you have a short list of people that you would like to support for president in 2028?
No, I don't look at it that way because I've survived presidents na hindi ko kakampi, so I can work with a good president and I can oppose a president who I don't agree with. So, walang problema sa akin.
Congressman Toby Chanco, thank you so much for your insights and sharing your views on
Okay.
the political landscape here on
Thank
Beyond
you.
the Exchange.
Thank you, thank you.
As the country demands answers, one thing is clear. Without accountability, there can be no real justice and no real change. I'm Rico Hizon. Join us again next time on Beyond the Exchange, where we uncover insights that matter. See you again soon.